That's Nick.
And that's Joseph. And today we're here to talk about The Locksmith. Because the door's locked. Directed by Nicolas Harvard. It's his directorial debut. It's being released courtesy of Screen Media Films, February 3rd, 2023. And you can also see it on demand.
Do you know the director's other film?
His debut, as I said.
Oh, I thought you said he did two others.
No.
I don't know where that came from.
I don't either.
I didn't care for this one. I don't think it's like the worst movie ever.
No, I think it's just very dry and is borrowing from a lot of very familiar tropes, and we can get into that. I will say I did like the poster art and the font.
It does feel like a lot of things, but it really didn't send me anywhere. The basic story, Ryan Phillippe plays a locksmith.
Named Miller Graham.
And he is also capable, like, safecracker. So the opening of the film is he, along with a buddy, are breaking into a safe.
Not highly skilled. He's highly skilled, not capable, as we're told over and over again. That's his talent.
So these two are trying to break into this safe, and they're in cahoots with, like, a local sheriff type person. And when things get hot and the police show up, that one cop they're in cahoots with...
Zwick.
Kills the other guy,
Kevin.
not Ryan Phillippe, as like a setup to make sure that he doesn't get into trouble, and also I'm assuming take all the money. So then we see Ryan Phillippe go to prison for 10 years. He gets out. He has a child that with a woman played by Kate Bosworth,
Beth.
who happens to be a part of the same police force as this crooked cop.
But previous to this was a waitress.
So he is working with his buddy Ving Rhames as a locksmith handyman type person, and immediately that crooked cop, who is now lieutenant, like catches up with him and basically threatens him, like, listen, I'm going to retire soon. I don't need you to open your mouth in case you forgot. And these two fools, these other detectives, they're going to keep their eye on you. Okay, so if that's not bad enough, Kevin, his buddy who was killed 10 years prior in that robbery, he had a sister.
April.
And that sister works for, like, the town pimp. But this pimp is not, like, on the corner. He has, like, properties. He has...
There's kind of a more interesting side story about the development properties that he's really kind of making into bordellos.
I agree, because I don't think I've ever seen someone... It almost looks like he has this, like, track housing, which are actually really cute, like little bungalows. And he's using them for prostitution. So Kevin's sister works for this pimp. And she is in cahoots with the crooked lieutenant because she wants to get revenge on Ryan Phillippe, because she believes he's responsible for getting her brother killed. But she also wants to get revenge on the lieutenant because she knows he's responsible. And then Kate Bosworth's character, she's in cahoots with the pimp because he's feeding her information about these crooked ass cops. Everything culminates with the showdown. The crooked lieutenant gets killed. And then Kate Bosworth is made lieutenant. The end. I mean, basically.
Yes,
there is a pretty big side plot where part of the sister is tricking Ryan Phillippe by saying that you need to rob the pimp because I need money to be able to, like, get away from all
like this clandestine poker game.
And this dummy agrees, even though he's on parole. And if she wants to get out of the game, just get her a bus ticket somewhere and help her pay rent and, like... I don't know, Connecticut. I don't understand.
She's guilting him very hard.
She is.
Because he's like, when I went to prison, I vowed that when I got out, I would take care of my ex, daughter, and you. And she's like, well, I guess I'm third on that list. And so that makes him do it. And also we're forgetting to mention that he has a best buddy, Frank, played by Ving Rhames.
Well, I said he works for Ving Rhames.
Oh, okay. That has, like, this locksmith shop.
He works for him as, like, a handyman. And unfortunately, Ving Rhames ends up getting killed.
In a very predictable way. I think, right, I'm like, oh, he's going to get shot in this scene, I bet. Yep, sure does.
Yeah, I think there were more interesting components to the story, like the whole prostitution ring. I think that, like, Kate Bosworth's casting seems weird. She doesn't seem like she'd be in this... A woman who looks like her and the way she's acting doesn't seem like she'd be in this town.
It's not that she couldn't be a cop. Like, I can see her in that role. I think it's just the formation of her relationship with this ex who looked like Ryan Phillippe, and you're both in this small New Mexican town.
But I think everyone's acting is fine. I also don't like how the film looks. It reminds me of a lot of other things we reviewed where it's like, it kind of has that dark, cheapy look that makes me think like the time period is ambiguous, but I can tell from the cars I'm seeing that it's modern time. It reminded me of the look of like Mine Cage. I mean, many things.
We also brought up that Liam Neeson movie Blacklight, or There Are No Saints recently.
There Are No Saints because of the look and also the fact that like this person gets out of prison and like they want to stay and then they want to do something that makes no sense that'll probably get them thrown back into prison.
It was shot by Jeff Biebman, who also recently lensed the Los Angeles set Emily the Criminal. And I think the exteriors of New Mexico serve the story fine, but anytime they're in a car, it looks real fake.
Oh, I didn't have any notes because I only had one note, which was every time they're in a car, that green screen looks like a old like 16-bit computer game.
Yeah, I don't think that necessarily looked good, but I liked the mood that it's trying to evoke, which is, those 70s films from the new American cinema movement that are kind of really borrowing from tropes of film noir, but films that had titles like The Mechanic, show the Charles Bronson poster, not the Jason Statham, The Driver from Walter Hill, or The Gambler with James Caan, The Hot Spot, that's 90s Dennis Hopper film, but based on a classic film noir novel. But this man that, is a compromised person that's kind of trapped between these two female representatives, one that's good and one that's bad, and of course being led astray. So I like all those tropes. It's just that all of this feels very... It's too familiar, it's too dry, and it feels too corny to be called The Locksmith in 2023.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I like the idea where the writers are going, John Glosser and Ben Cabialis, but it's like this was a first draft, or probably several drafted ideas, but it's like something needed to change to make this more, contemporary.
What would you give it?
2 out of 5.
I would give it 2 out of 5 as well. Anything else?
No.
Hit the thanks button. Listen to our podcast. Bye.